Hello, how are you? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Am I audible now? Yeah, I was just here and some people told me that I was not audible. Am I audible now? Yeah, I just want to get from you people, my dear friends. Can you get me? So tafadhali ukianzia kunisikia unaniambia. Karibuni sana. I wanted to discuss this issue of warnings. The warnings which Kenyan government is keeping on getting from U.S. administration every time. Within a span of 3 months, they get one. Within a span of close to 3 months, wanakuwa one. Okay, good. The rain ananipata. Thank you. Yeah, this one is a short one. I will be coming on later after 1.5 hours. This one is just a short one. Thank you very much, Darren. That's one. So I want to discuss this issue of the U.S. and issuing the late warning. As you are aware, there was an event ama kulikuwa na kongomano hapo Nairobi ambalo walikuwa wana eulogize aliyekuwa rais wa Marekani wa 39, 39th president wa US alikuwa anaitwa Jimmy Carter, the farmer from Georgia, wengine wetu hivyo ndivyo tulikuwa tunamuita, ambaye aliondolewa mamlakani na Ronald Reagan mwaka wa 1980, I think 80 or 81 hapo. So huyo ndiye ambaye sasa kulikuwa na hiyo kongomano ya makumbusho. Let me call it a memorial. It was a memorial for Jimmy Carter in Nairobi. Na Myriad anayeshikilia sasa after mama kuenda kama US ambassador anaitwa Myriad, anaitwa McDirad. So McDirad ndiye amereplace yule mama ambaye tulilia sana. Na sijui nini watu nini wapendwa, kuna kitu nataka mjue ya kwamba Mungu anasikianga maombi. Sijui kama mulisikia Wakenya wamelia siku ngapi wakisema huyo mama ambaye alikuwa ambassador wa Marekani. Wakenya waliomba wakaomba wakasema huyu mtu hatumtaki. Na ameenda. Because God answers prayers. People pray, people are on their knees. I remember people are saying sasa huyu mtu amekuwa enabler wa Ruto mbaya sana, akwende. And it is true, the woman went. Sasa tuko na ubishi anaitwa McDirad. Huyu hapa. So sasa this is now the acting US ambassador. Ndio huyo anaitwa McDirad. Sasa huyo acting US ambassador amewarn Kenya. Na mkumbuke 3 months ago Bwana Blinken, who is the Secretary of State wa Marekani, pia aliwarn Kenya. Akaambia Secretary of State aliongea story ya kuua waandamanaji. Wakati sasa Kenya ilikuwa imeua waandamanaji wengi sana, Secretary of State akakuja akasema, akaambia Kenya, no, this is not how you fight this is not how you fight opposition or you fight people who are trying to ask for their rights. Akasema there are other ways in which you can listen, you can talk to them, mnaweza kuwa na vikao, lakini sio sababu ati mtu amekataana na serikali piga yeye buduki story yake inaisha. You cannot do that in a civilized democracy. Na ndio nasema mimi Bwana William Ruto anaturudisha nyuma sana. Inawezekanaje watu wana demonstrate na kazi yako ni kuwapiga risasi? Iwezekani? That is not a democracy. Life is sacred. Maisha ni muhimu sana. Afadhali hata tuache kujenga zile vitu tunasema tunajenga na sisi tuweze kukua, tunaheshimu binadamu. But iwezekani ati rais wa Kenya anasikia raia wa Kenya wanauliwa sababu ya vitu ndogo ndogo. Nani ajui Kibaki alikuwa anaingiliwa all the time? Mafia cook, and he was taking it casually. So what is this one which is making Bwana William Ruto, hata kama kuna hii criticism yote ya social media, why can't he not take it casually? Sababu hakuna vile hii criticism ya William Ruto ya social media itawaisha. People will be thronging TikTok, people will be thronging even YouTube, people will be thronging everywhere to criticize him and to come up with those things. Because Mr. William Ruto has also to understand that hapa technology is advancing. And as technology is advancing, people are testing those new technologies with him. Why? Wana test sababu kitambo hatukuwa na those sloets. We had no softwares which could do sloet. These days we have Blender, we have sloet toolbox which can do those things. Na yeye as kiongozi ambaye hajielewi. People have to test their skills with him. So unajua creativity also comes with what is happening in the environment. So Bwana Ruto usiulizie kwa nini ati watu, hiyo sio kukukosea heshima. This is what happens in creativity. Creativity ama ile wakati unataka kubuni kitu, you study the environment, and then after studying the environment you start now picking what can I imitate in the environment so that I can pass communication. That is what we call creativity. So hawa raia wa Kenya ambao wanachora hizi masureti na hizi michoro sio kukosa heshima, ni they are trying to imitate the environment. How is the environment? Our environment is bad governance. Who is the leader of bad governance? Ni huyu. Haya, tumchore sasa. So and then wanaanzia sasa kutafuta zile vitu ambazo wanaweza fananisha na yeye. So hakuna makosa hapo. So I want to encourage young people, you are free to do your slow head. In any case, dunia mzima, people do those things. I have seen people drawing Donald Trump. Hata nilikuwa nikiona hata kuna watu walikuwa wanachora Donald Trump akiwa anakaa ile nyama sijui kama mafuta pale juu ya kichwa na ingine hapa steak chini yake. He didn't talk anything. Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa anachora na tumbo kubwa. So stop becoming petty, Mr. President. That one is becoming very petty. Ati unauliza watu simply because they are doing small slow head, which is they are trying to communicate their anger and their feeling. The truth of the matter is the government is not working. So mbona unataka watu wakusifu? Unajua wakati wa Moi yule tulikuwa tunaenda karibu Moi wetu karibu, those days are over. We had no information. So brother Benson, unataka you want link ya kuingia studio uongee ama unataka link gani? Bado kikao cha leo bado hakijaanza. Kikao cha leo tunaanza 9. Hii tu ni categorize kidogo, lakini kama unataka kuingia studio naweza kutumia hiyo briefly, but this one will not be beyond 30 minutes because nataka kukuja tena 9. This one is just a categorizer because leo mambo imekuwa ngangari sana in the field, so we have to come and ni sawa brother, nimekuwekea hiyo. So I have just come here purely to castigate Bwana Ruto because of what he is doing. You cannot be somebody who is cracking down because of criticism. Kazi ya raia ni ku criticize uongozi globally. So it is not you, the issues of criticism sio wewe peke yako bwana. So you have to understand this. We will criticize you in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. All the day we will criticize you. So I don't know why it is becoming so serious that you don't want that criticism. But mimi nakuelewa, because you know if this negative criticism continues at a second term party, and that is the truth. That is the truth. But how do you want Kenyans to start saying things are happening in Kenya and you know there are so many bad things which are not working? Kama sasa huyo mzee anakunywa dawa ya pressure sababu mtoto wake amekuwa abducted, and the state where he is paying taxes cannot answer to that man. The state has not even visited that man. Huyo mzee tu anaonekana kwa koti. What do you expect us to feel? Let me tell you, we have not borrowed to live in our nation. And we are not in our nation as second-class citizens. We are not second-class citizens. So, wacha niingize Benson. Naungana na hizo mataifa zingine kidogo Benson, alafu nikuruhusu. Naungana na hizo mataifa ambazo zinauona Bwana William Ruto na kumwambia lazima aheshimu maisha ya binadamu. He has to keep on understanding that Kenyans cannot be dying because of petty politics. And people cannot be dying out of extrajudicial claims na vitu zingine ambazo make sense. Globally, governments are criticized. Sio yake peke yake inakuwa criticized. Go in America, criticism is extreme. Go in the Asia, criticism is extreme. Some few countries which do not do that, ama zile ambazo wamekajua watu, we know them. We know those, but Kenya, there is freedom of expression, which is expressed through constitution, and people can even do that creativity of drawing. So there is nothing like lack of respect. Bwana Benson, karibu.
Asante sana Bwana Njiru kwa kunipatia nafasi. Mi nashukuru sana kwa kipindi yako. Jambo labda tuseme, what I can say is that I think where we are headed as a country, we are not heading anywhere. And we are retrogressing based on the history where the country has come from, um, to where now we are going back. And this is something that even the people who used to fight for the human rights are now the same people that are supporting those acts, because they're not speaking. If you go back to the history, the people like James Orengo, the likes of James Orengo, these are the people who are fighting for uh, they were big fighters of human rights. And right now, with the broad-based government, they just make proclamations, but we are not seeing actions being done. Especially when you look at the young people who have been abducted. These are young people, some of them in their 20s, you know, and what they did was just to criticize the government, or to criticize on how things are being done. They don't feel like it's not being done the right way. And something that we have to agree as a country, that with the technology, everything is changing. You know, Kitambo people used to go to the street. Yeah, that's how like people would express themselves. But with the coming of the technology, people are embracing the technology, and they're using anything possible so that they can send their messages. It is
We
not a
are
must
calling
that
it digital maandamano. Bwana
yeah,
Benson, that is
yeah,
digital maandamano, and technology has to be used. Correct.
yeah, yeah. It's the one that is used, because like you find, if they go for physical mandamano, you are going to lose your life. Now, if you go for digital mandamano, what happens? Um, Wanakukujia. Na kuna serikali katika dunia hii ambao haikosolewi. Ni kawaida, ni kitu ipo. Hata kama kuna serikali ambao labda inasema wanafanya kazi tena, wanafanya kazi vizuri, lazima utapata watu wawili watatu ambao hawatakuwa wanaridhishwa na hiyo serikali, yeah? Kwa sababu kila mtu ako na mawazo yake, na kila mtu anaona kwamba venye serikali inafaa iende, lakini huwezi kuwaangamiza kwa sababu wana wanakosoa. Ukosoaji ipo, yeah? So nadhani viongozi wetu ni kitu ambacho wanafaa kwa saizi wakubaliane kwamba ipo, na ukiona kama kuna mtu amekukosoa vibaya, kuna sheria ambao unafaa ufuate. Peleka mtu kotini, a, ajibu mashtaka. Hiyo ndio maoni yangu.
You see, Bwana Benson, as I bring you again, there is something I'm not understanding with William Ruto. Just the other day in 2021, ama 2019, do you remember how scantily he was attacking Uhuru? Huh?
Yes.
The way he used to attack and even attack his government. I don't understand why he is behaving as the owner of Ab, as Alpha and Omega. And I don't think Kenyans should allow that, because criticism is sacred. Everywhere in the world, after shule, you criticize mtoto akifanya vibaya. So there's no way in which na umeisema vizuri sana, and I am started here. We are in the wave of technology. And what does technology mean? Technology means that
Wacha nisalimie brother Benson hapa kidogo kwanza, Njiru kidogo, pole kuwakata brother Benson, huyu ni one dem, na kusalimia sana ndugu yangu.
Asante sana.
Najua hii vita ishagi, hii vita yezi isha, unasikia bro? Yeah. Hii vita ni tunapigana nayo mpaka dakika ya mwisho. Njiru, nimekusalimia sana bro, nimekusalimia na nawaona hapa nimekuja tu, yani niingie tu nakata tu katikati niwasalimie na niwaambie mnafanya kazi mzuri sana na mbarikiwe sana na hii mwaka mpya, yeah? Na muendelee na kazi mzuri. Brother Benson unafanya kazi mzuri, Njiru unafanya kazi mzuri sana. Twende ile kazi, tutatoa huyu jamaa, tutamtoa.
Okay, sawa.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, let me place my point now. We are in the curtain raiser. The real show is coming at 9. This is what is happening. Technology. People test technology with their way of life. Bwana Benson, you know that. Like, for example, like when I used to be in school, when when we are drawing, like kama unataka kuchora cartoon, wale mtoto akiambiwa achore cartoon, anachora baba yake, anachora mama yake, because you draw what is near you, what you can be able to visualize. So, and this is what is happening. Hata wale wa Kenya tuko nao ambao hawasikii wakiridhishwa, akitaka kufanya any creativity including, hebu nikuulize, mbona wale watu wanachoranga makatuni kwa gazeti? Because every gazeti inakuwa na cartoonist. Ukienda kwa Daily Nation there is a cartoonist. Saa zingine unaona hata wamechora atuori tumbo kubwa hapo, like you can see, like Bwana Benson, those cartoons are usually very scathing. They are not friendly cartoons most of the time. Unaweza ona saa zingine hata wamechora bus kubwa alafu imewekwa karazi ya UDA hapo, and the one of that cartoon na sababu pia Daily Nation ama Taifa Leo wanataka kujitoanisha, or they want to separate themselves from the drawer. Yule mtu amechora hiyo cartoon jina yake iko hapo by sijui nani by nani. Mbona hao makatunists wa gazeti hawaendeangi? So they go to the extent of looking for a young man who is just surviving, who is just trying to use his environment for fun. He's just using his environment for fun and test his skills, and also pass important communication, including passing information ile ambaye anasikia the way he feels, and then the government starts saying that ati hawa watu ni kulewa wajalewa vizuri. That is what we call creativity. Bwana Benson, kuna kitu nataka kidogo as you come. Marekani kuna program inaitwa SNL, kama umeisikia. Marekani kuna program in America. In America there is a program called SNL. Hiyo SNL wanaleta Joe Biden hapo and they depict him the way he is now, including hata wanamdepict hivyo saa zingine, like they can bring Kamala Harris hapo, and there are people who are trying to imitate Kamala Harris there. They can bring Donald Trump there na kuna mtu, and they try to imitate even their way of life and their way of thinking. That is what happened. They try to do that. So, and even in Kenya we used to do that. Like we had even somebody like Ledikla. Ledikla used to act like Moi. So, ebu nikuulize, based on what is happening, sahi, can we have any creative person who can try to act like Ruto and survives?
I don't think so, because that space is being taken away. And if you recall, when I made my first statement, we are not progressing and we are retrogressing. We are not even stuck. We are retrogressing. We are going back to places where our forefather used to tell us, or the stories that we used to listen and maybe study, that how Kenya was in some years, you know. And this is about the kind of leadership. It all falls in the kind of leadership that we have. And this is the leadership of monopoly. And the leadership of monopoly is a situation whereby you have the right to say anything that you want, and you are always right. You know, that somebody cannot say that, okay, the place, what you're doing is wrong, you know. And it's like we are bringing Kenyan leadership to be like a semi-god somewhere, whereby he discuss or he make finality in everything that is happening. And the leaders who are the leaders who also are in that cannot even oppose that. You know, that freedom is being taken away from the Kenyan people. You know, and even it, because you say this is a cut and rest, I know you'll be talking about what happened in Western. It depicts where we are as a country, and are we really making a progress, especially when it comes to matters touching on life. These are young people, and if you find a member of parliament like Kimani Ichung'wah is trying to justify that by the killings that happened in River Yala during the previous administration, yeah, you know, how is even the parents of those kids are feeling right now? Yeah, so that's, I don't know what I can describe. So it's just like
I understand. Sure, I understand.
Yeah.
Before I bring it's good. You see, Bwana Benson, when it comes to the wake of revolution,
Yeah.
anywhere globally, when the work of revolution, it starts with representation. Like kama ni hawa viongozi wenyu, you represent them with something. And that's why I want to tell Bwana William Ruto, he is showing character of primitivity. He is very primitive because representing a leader with a silhouette or with a cartoon has nothing to do with disrespect. It is about creativity. These people are, kwanza hii kitu inajaribu kuoneshana ya kwamba Kenyans can understand where their problems are coming from, especially the young Kenyans can understand where their problems are coming from, and they can imaginary represent them in the drawings. That is how seriously we have advanced as a country. And that is why Ruto doesn't want that. That is why any person who is trying to do that, that implication, because he knows that will be one of the greatest negative campaign on him. Na ndiye hawezi kubali kitu kama hiyo, but it is enshrined anywhere, creativity. So there's no in which you can say that I'm supporting digital creators the way you always say, and some of these people are very creative and who are able to represent the real environment of the society, you are disrespecting them. Anyway, wacha tusikie Bwana It's Good talking about these issues of human rights violation, because it is extreme, and I think Ruto is killing himself. Go ahead, Bwana It's Good. Alex? It's good? I mean, yeah. Anyway, don't worry. I don't want to touch anything which happened outside today.
It's good. Are you
I'm coming with another show. Today, right now, I'm talking about human rights violation.
Jiru,
Yes.
unanisikia?
Nasikia.
Unanisikia Jiru?
Go ahead.
Okay, It's Good. Ayuko ready? Atakuwa ready.
Yes, ongea.
So mi kitu kuna kitu moja hapo umesema hapo.
No, there's no problem.
Okay. Sawa. Ni mitambo inapotea kidogo. Kila mtu anataka kuaddress hii situation.
Yeah. Okay, but tengeneza mitambo kidogo. Let me wacha niingize kitu hapa. This is a very short show and I'm talking about human rights violation. In the next like 1 hour tunaingia na ile show yetu sasa ya kuongea hizi vitu zingine zote. Actually kama uko sijui kama Bwana Benson, if you are subscribed to my channel.
Mimi unanisikia vizuri sana. Mimi mitambo yangu haina shida yote.
I'm in your channel. I subscribed already.
Yeah. So hii ni kashow kadogo sana tu, and we are speaking about human rights violation.
Okay. Barikiwa basi. Acha brother Benson aongea.
Okay, relax kidogo kwanza. You see unaongelea ndani, so okay, ongea sasa, nimekupea nafasi.
Sasa unanisikia poa? Unanisikia? Okay. Sasa nilikuwa nasema aje. Hizi mambo zote za tunadeal nazo ni story, by the way ni siasa na ni mchezo. Unajua ni mchezo, bado tunacheza mchezo tu ya. Unasikia Jiru? Unajua huyu brother Benson tumetoana naye mbali sana. Tulifika mahali tukaamua tuache vita. Imagine huyu jamaa. Tulisema tuache vita, sasa tuanze ku reason. Let's reason. Juu kuna time tulikuwa huko kwa Mutembei huko tunapigana mambo za siasa, mambo za kutukanana nini hizo. Lakini ukiangalia tu Kenya vizuri, wanasiasa wengi wa Kenya hata wapendi raia. Hawa watu wa siasa hata wapendi raia. Imagine. Wewe uliona juzi Gladys Wanga anafanya kampeni huko Kisumu. Yaani hawa watu bebaa tu kama kondoo tu yani. Unaona Uhuru anakuja anasalimia Ruto hapo. Na Uhuru alikuwa anatuambia huyu mtu msiweke huyu mtu hapa. Unaona? Yaani tunabeba tu kama kondoo.
Bwana yes, sasa hivi tunaongea
siendi hapo. Najua hapo ni baadaye. Hapo tunaenda baadaye. Lakini nasema aje? kila mtu abarikiwe hii mwaka mpya.
Yeah.
Na Mungu apatie kila mtu nini Kenya anatafuta. Yaani kila mtu abarikiwe kabisa. Hawa watu wengi wanakuja kuona hapa Njiru ni wengi sana. Watu wanakuja kuona nani Shiro wa Auckland ni wengi sana. Kila mtu apewe baraka zake. Unasikia? Mbarikiwe nyinyi wote na nawaambia happy new year. Tupigane hili mwaka mpya ili 2025. Hakuna mtu anakumbuka tuko 2025. Tuko 2025. Januari ikiisha ndio utakumbuka. Tukishika February ndio utaanza kusikia watu wanasema hey, yani tuliingia 2025. Lakini kwa sasa kila mtu abarikiwe.
Yes.
Unajua wacha niambie Benson kitu moja. Benson ako na channel yake Njiru. Uambie Benson, uambie hao watu Benson ako na channel yake inaitwa nini? Inaitwa Brother Benson channel. Na hostigi show poa sana hapo. Kwa mtu wote wa karibu aende mtu wote
Okay, thank you so much, my friend, for that. Asante sana.
Watu waende waangalie channel ya Benson, brother yetu. Huyu jamani brother yetu sana. Bless. Bless you.
Okay, asante sana. So, Bwana Njiru, mimi kitu ambacho naweza sema ni kwamba kulingana na the human right, sometimes it requires even you as a parent, when you do good, even your conscience tells you very well that there's something that I've done good. But if you're doing something that is very wrong, and the retrogressive of our politics it's really taking us a place whereby even we might have a perennial presidency where we are retrogressing to. We are not even stuck. We are retrogressing. We very fast at ile tunasema treni ya mwendo kasi. We are going back very fast because like you find also like here with the human right, there are those who feel like they have that the ownership and the favors that feelings that you don't feel like somebody has lost a child. Yeah, so I think is quite much sad for what is happening, especially in terms of human rights. And our leaders, our leaders that you see have today, they've championed for this. It's not that it's very new. They've just decided, okay, let us just keep quiet. And if things happen, and there's that fear also that they have in them, that if I speak, what will happen to me? That fear also is there. So hopefully, I hope things will be okay.
Bwana Benson, things cannot be okay with Bwana William Ruto. Tuache kujidanganya. Me, I will, in life kuna kitu tunaitanga predictive model. Na wale watu wanafanyanga hizi vitu zinaitwa predictive modeling ama prediction. Let me call it prediction.
Yeah.
Majority of prediction in the world, you use what you know. We call it, we say, using the knowns to know the unknown. Any person who does research in this world, that's what we do. Tunaokota ile information yote tunajua. You go and correct all the information you know in this world. And then you use all that information to try and say, now sasa nikitumia hiki ambacho najua ni kama sahi, even when we want to predict El Nino, we begin by studying, are there any other previous El Ninos which have ever happened in the world, and at what scale and in what variation? Now using my data now, which I know about Ruto, sababu Ruto hatumjui saa hii. Mimi I know Ruto from 1995. Nimeakota data yake. Ruto in 1990, no, not 1995, actually 92, wakati wanapeana 500 na Jirongo. Ruto wa 92, Ruto wa 97, mbunge wa Eldoret North 2 times. Alafu sasa kutoka hapo minister wa agriculture, minister wa higher education. Alafu kutoka hapo deputy president wa Kenya. My dear brother and sister, using the knowns, Ruto is taking Kenya nowhere. Forget about history ati unasikia watu wakisema ati, let me tell you, and I can tell you for free, I'm talking in terms of human rights violation. Let me tell you, unaona kama wakati wa Kibaki, I want you to tell me who was killed because of criticizing the government. For your information, the democratic space should be so open ati unaweza enda pale archives na microphone, hapo archives na microphone, na unaanzia and you start criticizing the government na unarudi kwako jioni. That's how democracy should be operating in Kenya. Because democracy is not about sieving. So ati unasema you cannot say this, you can say this. Now that one becomes a propaganda government where the government is controlling information. We call it information control. You cannot control information. That is the aristocracy where you control information, sababu ile kitu William Ruto anataka tuanzie kufanya na hiyo hatutakubali. We cannot worship it. Tukienda pahali tunaanzia kusema wewe rais isipokuwa ni wewe hatungekula, isipokuwa ni wewe rais akugejesha, isipokuwa ni wewe. You remember those mtukufu rais. So yes. Mr. William Ruto, that is what he is missing. He is missing the president yule ambaye wa kitambo alikuanga anasifiwa. Kama unakumbuka wakati wa Moi, mtukufu rais isipokuwa ni wewe hata hatujui tungekuwa wapi. I know you remember that time. That time when we used to have a presidency ya ujinga. Sababu hiyo ni presidency ya ujinga. Ati raia wanasimama, hata mtu hawezi angalia raia. Ukisimama kwa jukwaa unaangalia rais, ati you are addressing the president. The highest disrespect of human life. Hebu nikuulize, in civilized democracy, have you ever heard even in civilized democracy wakianzia mtu akiitwa apeane ujumbe anaanzia kusema your excellency? Your excellency are only in retrogressive countries like ours. You cannot be addressing one man and we have a crowd of 5,000 people. It is like now we are now saying this person is the most important in the society. Maybe but now, can you tell me, how do you feel when we are addressing one man na tuko na watu 10,000 hapo? How do you feel?
It doesn't feel good. And you know, there's something that you've mentioned about that worshipping of a leader based on the history that we've had with the President Moi. So I ask you, where is the problem? Is the problem with our society? Is that society called problem, or is what breeds about this?
Ile kitu inaleta hii maneno ya kuabudu viongozi kiujinga. I want to tell you this. Number one is this issue ile ambayo kwanza we have been brainwashed. I don't know. We have been brainwashed. First of all, let me tell you, Bwana Benson, and I want somebody to tell me this because I have an issue with it. We have been brainwashed. Kitu ya kwanza tunaambiwa all leaders are divine. That is what we have been told in our society. Tunaambiangwa hivyo. Viongozi wanatoka kwa Mwenyezi Mungu. It's a clear statement. Kiongozi yeyote wala anakuja kazi yake ni kukunywa damu, ni kuua watu. The preset is ati huyo mtu ametoka kwa Mungu, lazima tumuheshimu. That is what we say. I do not hear these issues from the West. Nimeinteract na watu wa kutoka Europe, nimeinteract na watu wa kutoka Marekani. I've never heard those people saying kiongozi, okay, ni sawa, Mungu atatubariki. But sasa nikuulize, wakati mtu ameiba kura, huyo kiongozi ni Mungu ameleta? Wakati when you have threatened people to become a leader, huyo kiongozi ni Mungu ameleta? Because you see, I do not understand where we are saying that huyo kiongozi anatoka kwa Mungu At the same time, huyu mtu he has used the dubious means kukuwa kiongozi. Wale viongozi walikuwa wanatoka kwa Mungu, even in the biblical time, walikuwa wanamwagiliwa mafuta na watu wanaona hadharani. So I dispute this issue. Na ndio unaona Benson, mimi niko na hii shida whereby in Kenya we have this problem of saying that lazima kiongozi aheshimiwe. No, that statement cannot hold. You cannot respect leader. The leader has to give a path of respect. He has to give a path for respect. Hebu nikuuliza kama sahi, as we speak now, tuseme wewe ni raia wa Kikuyu, tuseme wewe you come from Kikuyu, kwa Kimani Ichung'wah, who is one of the most senior person in the government. Can you respect that guy even if he is a leader?
No, from my conscience I cannot, because the
unasema respect is case by case.
Yeah,
respect is case by case. So mimi siwezi kuheshimu na naona already your character is a facade. But you are not respecting human rights. Watu wanapotea. So kama sasa hebu nikuulize sahi bwana Benson. Do you expect me to respect bwana William Ruto and abductions are being done openly in the day? Opinion poll inafanywa kwa dunia, he is the most corrupt man in the world. Alafu sasa wewe unaniambia lazima uheshimu kiongozi wako. You want me to respect corruption?
Because the buck stops with him. He's the head of the state.
Do that.
And do you
I
think,
cannot do that.
let me ask you, and I think like next time I need to host you. I need to host you.
Okay.
When you look at what is happening with the political class, yeah, and still going back to the human rights, do you think the art of what is happening is being created by the political? Because one, when we go to election, after the election, there's maandamano and people lose their lives. Yeah. Then there's the court case that goes to the Supreme Court. Then after that, the maandamano will come. Then there will be these commissions that are coming in. And when the commissions comes, they don't go to court, but they agree amongst themselves because it's an issue of giving out positions. Why is it that after election, they go to court? But now when it comes to issues that they are discussing and forming these commissions, they don't go to court?
You see, because sisi wa Kenya hatukuwa tumeelewa how they plan issues. Sasa ndio tumeelewa by the way, because after Bwana Raila Odinga ametuzungusha for 20 years. Because unajua Bwana Raila Odinga ndiye amezuilia democracy Kenya. And I have to tell you this, Benson. Why? Kama kuna mtu amefanya Kenya tukue nyuma ni Raila Odinga. And I will explain to you why. And maybe nikikuja kwa show yako I will explain the reason why Raila Odinga is the greatest backdoing for Kenya. Why? Because in 2013 he refused to move on. Na kumbe yeye hakuwa anataka urais. 2017 he refused to move on. Na yeye hataki urais. Na raia wanataka, by the way. For your information, Bwana Benson, I want to tell you that Kenyans were ahead of Raila Odinga. Kenyans were saying, and to some extent, sababu kura ya Kenya ihesabiwi vizuri. There are those people who believe, and I was part of them, that Raila Odinga had won the election. And we wanted the will of people to be catapulted. But Raila Odinga blocked the will of people. Unaona sasa? So akatupeleka nyuma. So 2017 there needed to be a will of people. Instead of us exercising the will of people, he chooses hardship. I want to tell you, shida ya Raila Odinga hata sio sahi, na saa hiyo wakati tuko karibu kuangusha Moi, he chooses to work with Moi. In 2024, when Kenyans were up and ready to overturn Ruto, and we had lost so many Gen Zs, na ile maandamano ya Raila Odinga which could not work, he chose to go and feed the viper. I want you to see. And then from there, the same person who chose to go and feed the viper, he claimed to us that kunaweza kuwa na meza kubwa of us to talk, of us to dialogue. Sasa Bwana William Ruto akatokezea na akasema kukuwe na dialogue ya watu 100. Sijui kama ulisikia watu 100.
It was 150, I think so. 150.
Hao watu wamewahi keti chini. They couldn't because it was stupidity. That was not the issue. So the issue was Ruto knew to solve Kenyan problems, you need to to make politicians comfortable, because he knew if politicians are comfortable, Kenyans cannot be able to read through what is happening. So Ruto knew that Raila akikuwa vizuri, Wajaruo wako sawa na Waluya wako sawa, those people are sorted. Then akakuja akafikiria Uhuru akiwa sawa and some few cronies, Wakikuyu wako sawa. Lakini sasa that system only works if the basics in the country are working. So there's no in which, Bwana Benson, coalitions will work in a country while people are being abducted and are being killed. Kuna maandamano daily. Hizo vitu zote tunasema stories za hawa sijui kushikana sijui na kwenda kwa makoti kufanya nini. That basic functionality works if the country is cool. The country has to be cool. Since William Ruto became the president, Kenya haijawahi tulia. Hata wewe unajua hivyo. William Ruto amekuwa rais wa msukosuko. Hatujai tulia. Hata makampuni zingine zilienda. Companies migrated. Kenyans lost money. Kenyans lost business. Like yani imekuwa tu ni from one chaos to another one. From one chaos to another one. So the challenge which we have here ni ya kwamba Bwana William Ruto will never stabilize Kenya. He is driving Kenya to poverty. Na yeye atisi atinasema ati juu ya chuki. We can moderate and we can see. Hebu nikuulize Bwana Benson. Hii miaka mbili Bwana William Ruto ametuongoza. How much have we lost as a people? How much have we lost if we audit the system? Na tujiulize sasa tuseme hiki tumepoteza. Number one, we have lost our GDP. We have lost individual wealth. Kuna raia wako na pesa fulani. Tumepoteza maisha ya watu. People are dying and abduction and instability. We have lost our respect from outside world. So we have now, since Moi time, who we were also saying that he was a corrupt man. Moi hajai win Ballon d'Or ya corruption. The first man in Kenya to win Ballon d'Or ya corruption ni Bwana William Ruto. So as Kenyans, what are we getting? What are we getting? Sasa sisi very soon tutakuwa tunaenda pali kama South Africa ama pali kama Uingereza ama pali kama Marekani. We will be lumped up with our president. Ukisema tu wewe ni Mkenya, wanaanzia kusema is this central from Kenya? Is this one? Didn't I see that you people, you have the most corrupt man in the universe? That is where we are going. Kenya is losing everything. Courtesy of one man.
Okay, because like I want to wind up again and nakuachia show, and I want to thank you because like I need to have a show with you. Now, just maybe this, I know is your show, but you will indulge me. You'll forgive me. When you look at the political class, and I'm still dwelling on the commissions. This come to BBI, NADCO, and employment. When you see political class coming together when they're giving their employment, they don't see anybody or any Kenyan that is qualified apart from their close associates. How is that one going to make us prosper? Because even the leaders that we think are fighting for us, but once that coalition is formed, the people who are being employed are their families, their tribesmen, and their allies. And we are told we are creating peace.
Bwana Benson, that's why we are saying we want services. Mm-hmm. You see, sisi, that's why hata ukisikia siasa ya Mlima Kenya, we are not talking of seats. We are talking about functioning health. Tunaongea story ya tukue na madawa hospitalini. Tunasema mabarabara zetu zijengwe. Hatutaki manyumba. Sababu kila mtu wako na kwao. We want good education. Hatutaki masomo ambayo uwezi lipa. So because tunajua hizo vitu zote zikifanyika, hata nyinyi mkienda kugawana viti, sisi tuko sawa. Because sisi tushajua viti hazitusaidii. Viti hazitusaidii. Unajua, for your information, Bwana Benson, maneno ya viti imekuwa toka wakati wa Kenyatta. From Kenyatta walikuwa wanagawa mbiko inangi hapo na kiti yake hapo. What did the people get as a people? So a seat cannot equate to development. Hiyo kiti inasaidiaga tu as a few friends ambao watapea matenda. But the only thing which raia kama mimi naweza pata ni uongozi mwema. Uongozi mwema is shareable. Unaona, is shareable. When Kibaki came and the things worked so well, we were all enjoying. Hata viongozi saa hiyo sijui we were even very serious in even fighting corruption. I remember there was a time when hata kuna jamaa wa traffic alijaribu kuokota pesa hata alipigwa na raia.
Liwa.
So Bwana Benson, ile kitu iko, the only thing we can share with the government is good governance. We cannot share seats. The government has 4,000 seats. We have 55 million Kenyan. So why should I be running for the 4,000 seats which they are not enough for us? Lakini serikali ikiingia pale niambie nimepunguza VAT from 16 to 14. Hapo nimebenefit. Hospitali yetu pale Embu Town EPGH iko na madawa na madaktari wamelipwa vizuri, hawezi goma, and they are adding more time there. Niko vizuri. Maportals wakimaliza niko vizuri, ama wakiexpand barabara ile ya Nakuru. So nikiamua sasa nataka kwenda Eldoret na gonga dual carriageway mpaka Maraba, nasema niko vizuri. So that's what I'm trying to say, Bwana Benson, sisi raia, we do not share in position, because position has tuhusu and they are not part of us, but we share in the development and in the services, and the security. So mimi ile kitu nataka serikali inisaidie saa hii ni ati mtoto wangu anaweza tembea usiku saa 4 na atarudi nyumbani, because unajua some of us Bwana Benson, wengine tunafanya kazi mpaka usiku. I wish you that saa hii nikienda kwa kazi usiku unaweza rudi nyumbani.
Your safety is not guaranteed.
Yeah, so ile kitu iko, for me to be productive I need to be in a secure country. That's all. So mimi sitaki serikali inipee pesa, mimi sitaki serikali inipee kazi. What I want the government to do is an enabling environment. Nikienda kwa kazi nitarudi, nikitembea kwa barabara roads are safe. Siendi kwa gari nikiwa na hofu ati hii gari inaweza anguka because haina speed governor, ama hata hiyo gari they cannot do proper maintenance because vitu ni gari sana. So sahi hata you are not assured that ukitoka kwako utarudi nyumbani. Unaweza ingia kwa gari, hiyo gari hata ilitokana brakes na ujui, because of the corruption which is in Kenya. Polisi alipewa pesa pale kwa road bro, and the road is unworthy. Na sasa wewe Bwana Benson, hiyo ile gari uliingia. Wewe unajua unaingia gari na imani ya kwamba hii ni gari mzuri, lakini hii gari inakuliwa na traffic. So hii gari hata ipeleke maintenance, for your information. But there's something I want you to see. Hii gari iwezi enda maintenance sababu anakula. Hebu nikuulize, if I have a way of giving 100 to a police and taking my car for maintenance, what one do you choose as a corrupt man?
But
Benson, what do you choose as a corrupt man?
So you would choose. To me, I will go with the safety. The safety for myself. As somebody who is law-abiding citizen, I tend to do what is very right, and I will always call out what is very wrong. But let me ask you again: when will the public or the voters themselves come to realization and know that, okay, that we need to change our perception and how we think? The issue of position and the regionalism, the commercialization of our politics and personification of our politics. When will we come out of that as the voters themselves? When is that day going to come?
Hiyo itakuja saa hii, because I think Kenyans are extremely emancipating themselves. Wakenya wanatembea sana, so Bwana Benson, don't worry about that. Okay. Saa hii Wakenya hawana stress mingi sana. Kama ukiangalia even the level of opposition, unajua, can you remember Kenyan opposition, they thought that they can cajole us to, can you imagine how Kenyans have become opposition themselves? There is no parliament. Kenyans said they are going to become the parliament. So we are on that wave of having a good country.
I agree with you on the oppositions, that we have the real oppositions. The real opposition now are Kenyan. Forget about the ones in parliament. Those are the opposition. Those are opposition by constitution. They've been given that. But the real oppositions are those who are in the platforms, who are putting government on check. Jiru, thank you so much for giving me opportunity to be on your channel, and I'm organizing.
Niandikie namba yako hapa so that I can connect with you, ili tu hapo kwa chat ukiniandikia namba nita
okay, let me go to private chat and thank you so much.
Niweke tu namba yako hapa. Mimi nialike any day na niko hapo.
I usually do my shows on Wednesday from around 12. I don't know if 12 or 11. I don't care about the time, provided that I can have you.
Oh, 12 p.m. time ya Kenya?
No, 12. That will be around between 8 or 7 p.m. Kenyan time.
That's good time for me. I will come for your show.
Okay, thank you so much, Jiro. I really, really appreciate for giving me opportunity to be on your platform. And may God bless you, and may God bless everyone who is watching. I'm seeing some of you are some on the comment section. Some of them usually come on my channel. So thank you so much, Mr.
Yeah.
Jiro. God bless you.
Wakenya ni wale. So niwekee namba yako hapo.
Yeah.
Na hii serikali lazima tuisukume mbaya sana. We cannot allow open violation of human rights na tunyanyamaza. We cannot allow that. If they are kidnapping one of us, they can kidnap anyone. That is what we need to understand by the way. Now, mtu asiulizie kama wamechukua huyo Kibet Bull, kama wamechukua huyo kijana wa Embu, even as we are not very far from that. So tuache hiyo maneno. So we have to take this thing, with the ultimate seriousness it requires. Na sio tafadhali. The government has to be credible to Kenyans, respect of rule of law. So maneno ya kubembeleza serikali hiyo tuache. It is their responsibility to do the right thing. So Bwana Benson, nataka kuchukua hii namba yako sahihi. So Bwana Benson, we have to do the right thing. So time ya kubembelezana nao watu bana tumeacha bana. We cannot allow it again.
Okay, thank you
Kenya
so much.
has to become a safe country for every one of us.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Njiru, and thank everyone on the comment section for engaging with us. Thank you so much, and may God bless you for the time.
Okay, asante sana Bwana Benson. I really appreciate. Huyo ni rafiki wetu mmoja ambaye ameamua kukuja kwa show yangu kidogo. I'm just leaving his number ili niweze kuongea naye pia kwa show yake. Yeah, we have to talk and hii maneno ya violation of human rights hiyo lazima tukomeshe bana. The government cannot be the one which is abducting people bana. Hiyo nayo hakuna, hatutakubali. Watafute kazi ya kufanya bwana. Wamemaliza kuokota kodi. Wamemaliza kuelimisha watoto wetu. Wamemaliza kufanya maendeleo. Ili sasa waone sasa ile kazi imebaki ni abduction. Bana. Hao watu waache bana. Wamemaliza zile kazi zote ambazo wanafaa kukua wakifanya ili sasa waanzie kuona ile kazi imebaki ni abduction. Hiyo hatutaruhusu. Tutapiga kelele and we will be violent to them because safety is a guarantee for everybody and for everyone, whether you support the government or not. Safety is a paramount. So, and we have not rented to be in Kenya. We are Kenyans by birthright, many of us. So, story ati ya serikali kukuja ati kuanzia kusema ati they will be openly violating our human rights na wanatunyamaza and they want us to remain silent. Hiyo hatutanyamaza. Kenyans have to be safe. They have to be safe in the country called Kenya, and they have to be safe whether they are criticizing leaders or not. So we cannot be assured of safety only when we are speaking good of the government. When the government is doing the wrong thing, we call them out. We go to social media, we go everywhere, we call them out because that is who we are, and we will castigate you. We will castigate you. Na democracy ime-open up vibaya sana Kenya. Yeah, hawa watu. Democracy ime-open up vibaya sana. I just want to tell these people. African democracy is opening up, but democracy in Kenya has opened up seriously. Na hii regime haitakuwa ndio regime ya kwanza kutufungia democracy. Hatuwezi ongea, ati you cannot criticize, ati hatuwezi piga kura. Ati ndio regime tunasema hatuwezi piga kura, hatuwezi hesabu kura. Ati hatuwezi hesabu kura, ati lazima kura iende ihesabiwe na watu wawili. Hiyo vitu yote mnataka kwenda mkifunga, tutamenyana. We cannot allow it. Kenya has to remain a democracy as it has been. Tunapiga kura, tunahesabia pale zote. Hata wale ambao wanafungilia democracy saa hii, democracy ilifungiliwa wakati wenu. I was hearing Mr. William Ruto speaking all the days, usiwe watoto wetu, and criticizing bwana Uhuru all the time. Nani alikuuliza wewe? Ama wewe sasa ndiye wewe uwezi criticizewa? No, you criticize others and we will criticize you. You take it from me for free. You criticize others and we will criticize you. You abused even other people. Eh? You used to call other people vitendawili na vitu zingine. Eh? We were in the same Kenya. So history ambayo some people want to take themselves as very special because of power. Power inatoka kwa raia. Power sio yako. Yes. Whether you want to become an aristocrat, whether you want to become a dictator, you don't donate power to yourself. Power unapeangwa na raia. Na hatutakubalia kukaliwa na serikali. No. The government has to talk with us slowly and convincingly. Lakini hatutaruhusu serikali ikuje kutukalia kwa vichwa. Fanyeni hivi, tufanye. No. And we will not allow that blatant break of rule of law in the name of ati lazima ufuate vile serikali inafanya. We have brains and we can judge when the government is doing the right thing and when the government is doing the wrong thing. For the last 6 months, the only perfect thing this government has done is impeachment of Gachagua for the last 6 months. Eh? What is happening to the way of life of Kenya? What is happening to expansion of business opportunity? Watu tu ni kuteseka wanateseka, ni kuteseka wanateseka. Eh? Hakuna kitu kingine. Human rights violations, we are rejecting them. Na hao watu wote ambao wameshikwa mateka lazima waachiliwe. Hao watoto wako na wazazi. Hao watoto they have relatives. They are our top cream of the society. Hawa ni watoto ambao wangesaidia hata hii regime yetu to grow more resources. I think you people, you are not aware. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to raise a kid afike miaka 24 only for a useless idiot kwenda kuua huyo mtoto. It takes a lot. Msifikirie tunaleanga watoto kwa machungu, especially at this time of the bad economy. Alafu mtu anachukua mtoto ya mtu anaenda kuua. We cannot allow that. You people, hata nyinyi mko na watoto. Wewe mtoto wako akichukuliwa, how are you going to feel it? I'm very castigated because of that thing. It takes a society to raise a kid only for a useless idiot to come and take that kid. It takes a society. Mtoto analewa na jamii. Ni ngumu sana kulea mtoto. Right from maternity, kubeba mimba. Alafu sasa mtu anakuja anabeba mtoto yako hivyo. You people, can you have manners? Murudishe hao watoto, hatutaki upuzi. Hao watoto warudishwe na sio tafadhali. We don't want this stupidity. Ati watoto wa watu tu wanabebwa tu hivyo. It takes a lot of time and pressure to raise a good kid. Kama nyinyi, if you people you are judging that those kids are bad, some of us we are not judging those kids are bad. They are trying to use imagery to express their dissatisfaction with the government, and that is okay. It's part of their creativity. That was now ridiculous in steroids. Now on social media and in AI world. Pana bana. Hao watoto warudishwe bana. Watoto warudishwe safe and good. Watoto warudishwe safe and good. Iwezekani serikali ndio inachukua watoto ya watu wanaenda wanaweka. Whether mnawekelea sijui ni huyu, sisi hatutaki kujua. Sisi hatutaki kujua. Yule ambaye alibeba watoto wa watu arudishe the same place. Hao watoto wakiwa safe. Yeah, every time tu watu wanapotea tunanyamaza. It cannot be this way. Hao watu wako na mwili na damu kama wale watoto wenyu pia. They have blood, wako na maono kama watoto wako. Vile mtoto wako anataka kununua basi, vile mtoto wako anataka kununua mashamba, vile mtoto wako anataka kufanya mambo mazuri kwa maisha, hata watoto wetu wanataka kufanya hivyo. So we cannot be abducting kids anyhow. Kids with brains and kids who can do things. It's good. Unakuja, nilikuwa naongea kidogo about human rights violation before I start the main thing. Maybe you can comment about that.
Yeah, nimekuwa nikikusikiza, niko job on and on, so nikasema when I'm in break I'll come and maybe give my views. So it's not like the abductions I've just started today. And it's not like this sort of kind of abductions. There's many kind of abductions that you have seen in Kenya. But the current form of abduction are not new to us. If you remember very well, in the office of the deputy president in the last 10 years of Uhuru's presidency, there was a lot of sort of abductions, killings, disappearance, murder that went on unresolved for the entire period. And the allegations were overwhelming, more especially two classics ones were for the one for Kenei, and let me just reinforce on the Kenei one, whereby they even went to the funeral of Kenei. And if you understand the reason why Kenei issue was even more worse is because of the contract, the military contract that we saw being signed, and people like Echesa wearing military, personnel clothing and having military compromises, and we don't even know how it truly happened because Uhuru never truly resolved the whole saga, because it remains one of the key issues that Kenyans have kept quiet. And if you see the aftermath of that, when Ruto became the president, he sealed it by taking her own daughter to be an envoy in Italy, because the Italians were part of the people that were part of the deal. Now, these kind of abductions were meant to put Ruto into the presidency. Like, Ruto will not allow anything and anybody to come on his way to stop him to the presidency. And at one point, I remember Matiang'i was so mad and said, inafika mahali we say all these things, because if we don't say them, then how do people know exactly what nature of heinousness we are dealing with? Then I think Uhuru being nice, refused to deal with the whole issue. And now we've seen that the exacerbation of the abductions has come forth, and there are two factors that are making us even notice it even more. One factor is the Nyanza, the people that used to make most noise from the top of the rooftop are not as vigilant as they were last time. And now the mountain, which really was a little bit quieter because of whatever agreement that was going on between the regime when it started, now I've come to understand that these kind of abductions, if they don't stop, I mean, their own children, and you saw the Githurai saga, which actually the former DP Kashago tried to project very well that that was, genocide, but it was quieted. Now, I don't like the approach, Njiru, we are giving it, especially the topic that you have, that the US. Now, it is not the US to come and tell us what we truly know in order for us to do what? To validate or to be validated by the Western powers. Why should I say that? Because if you know, the people that aided this man to the presidency were the Western powers. And every time we say, oh, this organization has told us that Trudeau is the second most corrupt person in the world after in the presidency. Oh, the US has said this. We are usurping our own powers, that what we truly know is being validated by the Western powers. By doing so, we now project them as a better people than us. No, it can never be like that. We know Ruto, we ourselves, whether the Western wants them, whether the Western agree or not, that is their problem. But for us, we have defined this man. We know he's unqualified. We know he stole the election. We know he's doing the abductions. We know he has collapsed the economy. We know all these things. And if we know, we do not need any validation from nobody. Whether they put them in the New York Times, Washington Post, British Mail Guardian, Indian Hindustan newspaper, Beijing Post, Japanese Daily News, we really do not care, because we are the one who know this man, and the Western people are not going to define them for us, because we have defined them. And now, how should we handle the current situation? Now, we have a reason now to even be more vigilant, especially the people from the mountain. Now, if Gachagua was bad, okay, if he says for the last 2 years he did not have a DP, and now he's happy that he has had a DP that they can work with. Now, the word is out that the present DP said, how can I help you, and you're abducting our own children? Now, that should be our talking point, that even his own deputy, who he appointed, not he was the one who was elected a ticket with, the one that he appointed has come to see the light that this man, he's killing his own people. That should be the talking point, not the US is concerned about. They are all concerned when they have interest. And even if they don't have interest right now, if they come in and Ruto start fearing because of the US interference, obviously he's going to give them another deal, so because it is a political interest that Americans have, you know that. So if we handle this thing from the narrative of the US has said this, or this organization has said Ruto is ABCD, now it's give and take for them. For us, we are not gaining anything. So our castigating Ruto should be based on the internal motivations, which is you even took your DP out because of what? His concerns about his people. Now the present DP has even called the previous DP, he is my brother. Why? Because he's now seeing the light of what Gachagua was seeing. And what was it? Whatever happened in Githurai is still happening. And most probably will continue to happen. So what should the mountain people do? And this is where I think sometimes I wonder if the mountain really listens to themselves when they speak some things. Now, the mountain sometimes, for instance, Mjuru just said that sisi watu wa mlima tunataka hii na hii na hii na hii. Let me be very clear to you. Ruto made it so clear from the very beginning. Ruto made it so clear from the very beginning. Shida niko nayo ni ya watu wa mlima. Sisi tuko na shida na watu wa mlima, na kama kuna kitu tutafanya kwanza, it's just to come together and deal with them. Now they already came together. Now what is happening is dealing with them. And how do you deal with them? First of all, political dealing is to stop any financial that the mlima can have more than what? William Samoei Ruto. And that is why you will always understand this, that there are no projects that Uhuru had for your people, or new projects that will ever come to the mountain that will supersede what you saw for the 20 years of Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So for the mountain to sit pretty and start saying, as long as our health is working in Embu, as long as our health is working here and here, as long as this and this is working, I think you are chasing a mirage. The mountain should wake up and understand clearly that the only path to redeem itself, it is to go to what? To the streets. And because of their proximity to Nairobi, because of their population in Nairobi and throughout the country, because of the financial power they still have, it has not been melted. They should come together and make sure they dislodge this person before it is too late. You are giving this person still time, thinking that you can negotiate with him so that the mountain can go back to its former glory. The mountain will never go back to its former glory. So for the abductions, I think the talking point and the hot potato should be based on what Kindiki himself perseveredly has said, that you are abducting the children from the mountain. Not only that, you are killing them and you are hell-bent to finish our people. And if Kindiki too cares about the people, you must put pressure for him to resign. And once Kindiki resigns, then we will know surely that now the mountain is serious about the perceived unity. Whatever Kindiki was saying, that Kashagwa is his brother, he must put it into action. And if that happens, I think Kenyans will be more mobilized and be willing to understand that the mountain is with the Kenyan people in this suffrage. And I think the next will be history. Ruto hata tusumbua, tutamtoa kidogo. Wachana mambo ya kina Ichungi. Let us not even project what Ichungi was saying and so on and so forth. These people knew very well that they never won election. And they know that they will never win any election. And the only way to stay relevant and in position is to become stooges and puppets to the power that is in. Thank you.
Okay, sawa bwana Alex, ni kama nimepoteza picha yangu kidogo, lakini sawa. I think with that Alex comment, I will go off, and then in approximately 20 minutes I'll be back with the next show. So keep tuned in. The high octane show is coming. Ile makombora imekuwa Embu na wapi. So the high octane. So US warnings to Kenya on human rights violation. Mwisho imeisha.